Last time on Astro's Dev Log, Astro continued to struggle, making little progress with Project 256. However, he managed to finish painting the new parts of his costume and confirmed his eligibility to compete in the 2025 Anime Nebrascon cosplay competition. Like before, Astro vowed to complete the visuals for the AI and progress further with the soundtrack for Project 256. Additionally, he discovered that he needed to create a build book for the upcoming competition, as well as iron out some of the final parts of his costume. With all that laid out before us, it's once again time to see how the month has fared for Astro-Drifter, and what lies ahead for the rest of 2025.
Let's do some contact with a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they
It's a new and strange environment at first. Just suddenly finding yourself in orbit.
You got speed, Jonathan.
All right, lift off and the clock has started. Yes, sir. Reading it loud and clear.
Four computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Discovery Houston, I've got a good picture of Steve. Discovery Houston, going throttle.
Three, two, one, zero.
Now playing Entry 17.
Hello? My name is Astro-Drifter. And I am tired. This month has been a rather long month. In the last entry, I didn't have a lot to share with you because of the higher demands from my job. Well, it's been like that for about 3 months now, and to be honest with you, that made me really mad. And one thing you should know about me is when I get mad, I get even. So buckle up, friends, because I decided that this month I was going to get things done. After I posted the last devlog, I revisited the H3D shader graph course I did over a year ago. After a few days of review, I was ready to dive into the parts of Project 256 that I've been avoiding. The first, the floors and ceilings. As you can see from this footage from the prior devlogs, the floors and ceilings have always been dark and hard to see. Returning to the course allowed me to build a shader that can seamlessly repeat a texture without worrying about messy UV maps. Since I was already working on the floors, I also decided to spice up the skirts and safety rails with more character and detail. I think my favorite new detail is the safety wire that runs the length of each segment of the halls. Let me know what you think of this new appearance in the comments. Now, as for the plasmoids, I have bad news. They aren't done. Not even close. However, I can at least say that this time I have made moderate progress, unlike last month. I've been experimenting with this other shader material, and while it's still rough around the edges, it's a good base for the bodies of the ghosts. In the end, I want these things to look like a combination of the surface of the sun and the kill balls from Halo. That's also sparking like a Dragon Ball Z character that's about to beat some ass.
I said before I could never forgive you!
I actually already worked on a system for this sparking effect, but I have yet to test it with any of the plasmoid meshes. With a little work, I believe I can adapt the system to achieve the effect we're after. As for the soundtrack, I actually made a whole new version for the track that plays in the background. And the funny thing is, you've been listening to it since this section started. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm still tweaking and tuning some of the finer details, but I really do like what I have going on here. The track starts out simple and slow and then builds onto itself as the player collects more and more fuel cells. By the end, it's transformed from a subtle filler track into something that sounds like boss music. What's fun about these tracks is that they take cues from the original Pac-Man theme, but are warped to fit the context better. Yeah, did you forget that Project 256 is a Pac-Man spoof? It's kind of crazy to think all of this started out as a Pac-Man-inspired horror game. And speaking of starting, this month we are actually celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Project 256. Switching gears over to the cosplay stuff, how about I give you a short summary of what's actually going on? I am once again attending Anime NebraskaCon, and this year I have decided to compete in the cosplay contest. I've spent nearly 6 months overhauling what I've dubbed the Astro Dude suit for this year's competition, and while it's been a long and mind-melting journey to make these new props and pieces, I think I'm ready to show the judges what I've got. Although I am officially registered to compete, this still isn't quite a done deal, because now I have to write my first ever build book, which is a daunting task all by itself. Despite starting in March, I'm still in a race against the clock to finish the book and be ready for October 19th. So wish me luck, watch the socials, I'll be posting pictures and updates about my experiences this year. the 1-year anniversary of Project 256 has made me think about a lot of things. This project started out so simple. I never would have guessed that it'd become the complicated mess that it is today. And that has me doing some reconsidering. While I recognize that you can't rush art, I also realize that at the end of the day, this is a silly project that no one is going to take seriously. So, to be blunt, I think it's time to wrap things up. To do so, I have a couple of new rules going forward. Number 1, no backtracking. Looking back on this year's progress, I realized the majority of my work has been redoing things I've already done. So unless something actually looks really bad, or I come up with something that'll look really good, I am no longer allowed to backtrack. Number 2, take things one at a time. I have a really bad habit of splitting my focus between things, and that leaves a lot of things unfinished or half-assed. So no more of that either. From now on, I'm taking things one at a time, and I am not allowed to start work on one thing until the other is finished. To go along with these new rules, I also have a goal. By the end of the year, I need to have finished at least one AI visually. And if I haven't, well, let's just not think about that right now. It's a little ironic. I ended last year with a goal related to AI, and now I'm also ending this year with a goal related to AI. It must be a seasonal thing. So objectively, my next step for Project 256 is to finish off the hallways once and for all. Once I'm done with this redesign, there's no going back. Then my focus will shift entirely to AI design. And if by some crazy miracle I have the time, I'll begin to finalize the soundtrack. After that, it'll be time to finally bring everything together as a cohesive arcade horror experience. As for the contest, like I said before, keep your eyes on the social media pages for pictures and updates. It still feels like I have mountains of work to do, but, I'm hoping that's just anxiety leaking into the script as I'm reading it. Anyways, if you're new to this, I also have a habit of handing out tokens of appreciation to other folks who made cosplays for the convention to let them know that their hard work is recognized and respected. I am planning on continuing this tradition if time permits. I actually have no idea how busy I'm going to be with the contest stuff, so we'll just have to wait and see how this all plays out. Lastly, like last year, there won't be a devlog in October. With the holiday season finally kicking in, as well as the convention and other lovely social obligations I have, putting out a devlog would literally tear me in half. So the next time you'll hear from me will be in November. And God, I hope I have something good to show you then, because if not, well, once again, let's just not think about that for now. Instead, let's close this thing out. As I'm typing this entry, I honestly have no idea how next month is going to play out. Between my daily hardships, my projects, social obligations, and trying to get this channel to grow, I think next month is going to be a rough one. But that's super pessimistic, and that's not really the message I want to end this with, especially if you aren't going to see me for almost 2 months. So instead, just remember, it is okay to feel angry sometimes. What matters the most is how you handle it. I always say the best thing you can do is use your anger to propel yourself forward somehow. Spiteful productivity is a powerful thing. Sometimes you need to crash out. Productively. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. Don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts on Project 256. It's more important than ever to also follow me on TikTok and Blue Sky, where I post short-form content and smaller updates about what I'm working on. Also memes and good vibes. Links to those pages, as well as any resources I mentioned, will be in the description below. Till next time, thanks for watching. This is AstroDrifter, signing off.